What's the most fucked up thing that your parents told you as a kid that really hurt your feelings and is still stuck with you today?
Okay, this isn't like fucked up, but it's funny to me and it still sticks with me to this day, so yeah. My mom told my brother and I when we were younger that every day she needed 1 hour in the bathroom to herself, like in the bathtub, to take a bath, like peacefully, because she was actually a mermaid, and if she didn't change every single day, then she would die. So we couldn't disturb her in the bathtub, and we had to be really quiet and be really good while she was in there so that she could have her peace and be a mermaid. And I thought that I would also grow up to be a mermaid when I was older, and I believed it until I was like 13. And so I never studied and never put any effort into school until I turned 13, because I thought, what am I studying for? I'm a mermaid. I'm just gonna go live in the ocean. Duh. And so I was a straight B student up until the 8th grade, and after that I started trying because I found
I know I'm not the only one on this app that sees an art video on my For You page, but likes it just because I know it took a long time to make.
This is by far probably the scariest and most humbling project I've ever worked on. I was contacted by this wonderful woman named Karen to honor her late husband Alfred in one of my projects. So I worked with him and fretted over these last couple of weeks, and here we are. I hope that you love it, and I hope that I was able to honor your husband the way that you wanted him honored. Thank you.
So let's talk about my mild food allergy, and how because everybody blew it off as picky, I thought eating was just the most miserable experience ever, and I could not understand how anyone enjoyed it. There's a lot of different foods that can set this off, but because it didn't kill me, I was always told, oh, you're just exaggerating or you're being picky. What happens is it starts to feel like I'm having trouble breathing and my throat gets all tingly and it's just very uncomfortable, but I can still breathe. But it is absolutely miserable if something gets stuck in my throat, because then I'm trying to cough really hard and not enough air can get in my lungs, and it is extremely painful. This can also come with a feeling of nausea as well. When I told my parents this, they would get mad at me and say, oh, you're just trying to get out of dinner. Everybody experiences that. You're picky. And they would tell me, well, if you don't want to eat dinner, then you can just starve. And then they'd get upset when I just choose to starve because the experience was so miserable. So then they started trying to force me to eat. Turns out it was an allergy.
Part 2, because y'all are impatient and gotta go to sleep. So I didn't hear from him all weekend, but I left my blanket there and I texted him so he wouldn't forget it. And he was like, okay, yeah, I'll drop it off and we can hang out because I haven't seen you. And then he says that he apparently spilt beer all over it, so he had to wash it. And everything was good until my prom. So we went and he was acting extremely weird and super distant. So that's when I kind of knew that something was up. I didn't have a shore house for my prom, but he was like best friends with all the senior girls who went to my school. So of course they invited him and we went. And then I saw all over social media that there were pictures of him with his ex holding hands and hanging all over each other at the beach. So I had work that night and I just so happened to work with his best friend. And I told him about how he was being super distant and how I saw all those pictures all over social media. And he was like, yeah, we never spilt beer on your blanket that night. He was actually with his ex and they did it on the blanket. Moral of the story, don't date the guy who's named a player, because it's probably for a reason.
is a brand new mold that I bought. I'm making some pumpkin molds and I have some resin left over, so might as well use it before it fully hardens. So let's start. This is way different from the other goddess molds that I have. Like, look at this whole space I have to be using. Oh Jesus, this is what I'm terrified of. Oh, this is gonna take forever to fill up. I still have some leaven rest over, and it filled it up all the way. That's crazy. I thought it would need way more resin, but okay. We have this mold, so might as well fill it up as well. Okay, let's start pouring it in. Whoop. So they're both filled up, and I still have leaven rest over. Whoop. Okay, so they're ready to be demolded. I have one pregnancy goddess, a skull goddess, and this gorgeous baby right here. It is dry. Well, I've only checked the feet because last time we messed up. Well, I messed up, but let's demold everything. Okay, let's start off with this one first. This one definitely don't need to clean up the edges. Last time when I was removing a goddess from the mold, it cut my finger, so this big finger is cut, but whatever. Okay, this is how it turned out. Obviously, I was just fine on 7 different layers of resin. Now time for this one. Ooh, cute. This is the goddess. Cute. Now it's time for the big one. My thumb is hurting me really badly. Okay, let's just pull it. Ooh. Gorgeous. Look, I have some extra flowers in between, but we can just clean her up. But she looks so cute. I like it.
Today our 2-tiered trinket dish is ready to demold and put together. Here is the upper plate with our signature orange slice design dressed up with dried leaves and pressed white hydrangeas. And this is the lower and larger plate featuring orange slice halves and the same white flowers, both partially bordered with acrylic crystals. This plate is the largest resin piece I've made up to date, making it slightly more stubborn for demolding. You'll notice a hole in the middle of both pieces, and this is where our gold stem will thread through to tear up the 2 plates. First, we align our golden dish topper, and the mid-stem screws into it. I chose gold hardware, as I think the warm tones complement the overall colour palette of the 2 dishes. And then our base screw gets put in, which secures the plates together. The washers are great to ensure no cracking of the resin as the screw is tightened up, especially to withstand the weight of larger accessories. And here is our orange-themed 2-tiered trinket dish.